Say something. Okay, I'm live on YouTube. What is going on, guys? And today, I don't have anybody logged in. I just kind of wanted to try this live deal just to see what it was all about. See if my webcam was going to make it like super weird or funny, and like the reflection on the glasses here. But if I don't have the glasses, guess what? I can't see squat. Hey, here's the dealio. Here's something that I wanted to talk about today because it's bothering me. Something that's been getting to me. Spending way too much time online, spending way too much time on my phone and not disciplining myself and causing myself to lose track. Now, before in life, I would go down this giant rabbit hole and not be able to get out of it until it was way too late. And now I'm in that place where I'm starting to recognize, what it is that I'm doing. I'm starting to recognize more and more how dangerous some of these rabbit holes in our own minds can be. And I realize that depression for me, especially with autoimmune disease, my body is in constant flight or fight mode. And so it's easy for me to slip into those woes me moments or feel like I'm depressed or feel like I'm anxious about something. But I want to tell you something, guys. I want to tell you, and it's been my journey to walk myself through certain things and be able to catch myself in these things. And one of the things I tell my clients all the time is it's good to have mental fences, right? To keep from jumping over them, you're going to need to build these tall fences. And one of the fences that I've built for my life to keep me from going off the deep end and really hating my life and getting into some dangerous places is this. I realize, and I have to continue to remind myself that my feelings don't always matter. And I know that's a hard one. But every day that I'm breathing, I don't feel like getting out of bed. I don't feel like working out. And sometimes that feeling is so devastating that literally my eyes roll in the back of my head and I can't get up. I can't move. But on the days that I can, I have to optimize my thinking. And it's all about that. It's all about recognizing it. It's like when you have a wound, you can look at that wound and recognize that it's there and then figure out what to do about it logically instead of panicking. But what we do instead, it's like looking at that wound and going, I've got a wound. And you're running around with your head cut off or with your like a chicken with his head cut off because you're bleeding and you're freaking out. But it's being calm in that initial moment where you realized I'm depressed. I've got anxiety. It's that initial moment. As soon as you recognize it's there, the moment you recognize it's there, you got to stop. And you have to look at it logically because your feelings are the thing that's getting you. The feelings are what's causing you to go down that rabbit hole. Your feelings are the very thing that is swaying you from a good life, a joyful life, and a consistent life. I will admit that my doctors tried several different medications for me to help the anxiety to go down, especially my heart, because my heart does weird things that causes my anxiety. It oftentimes will have an arrhythmia that gets caught off and won't stop, and it just keeps clopping and feeling weird. And so they try to put me on medication. And what I had was just such extreme, dangerous reactions to just regular medication for anxiety or for depression that I can't take those because it makes it far worse. So knowing that and knowing my allergies, knowing my body say no way to medication, which there's nothing wrong with medication. I'm telling you right now, if you're right now having a therapist or you have someone in your doctor who subscribed those things and they're working for you, I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just saying I can't take them. My physical body won't allow me to. I have like anaphylactic reactions to it. So that's not an option for me. So not being an option for me, I have to find different pathways, and that's those fences. So immediately when I come up against that, I realize it's just a feeling. And then I have to go, okay, look, I know that if I harmed myself right now because I'm so depressed, I know that it's going to hurt my family. And I love them so much. I love them more than I love my feelings. The second thing I have to tell myself is Hey, look, there's no problem or no shame in you talking to someone about this. So I have several people that I talk to about my depression and what I'm feeling. And those people that are in my life will actually, every single time consistently, help me walk through logically what I'm feeling. They'll help me walk through logically what I'm feeling so that I can make it through. This is what you guys need. You need to surround yourself with good people. The moment you isolate yourself, you begin to isolate your thinking as well. And when you've isolated your thinking, man, I'm going to tell you, you just keep going further and further and further down the rabbit hole. But if in the moment you realize that you're headed that way, stop, make that phone call. I had a friend of mine that was an alcoholic that I worked with, and he said, "Hey, would you be one of my support group partners that when I'm feeling tempted, would you talk to me?" I said, "Absolutely." So we would talk till 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, until that feeling had passed and he wasn't drinking. When I was over there on site, when I was working with him, we made sure that we went to restaurants and I didn't drink around him. And if we were going to stay up late talking about work, it wasn't over a beer or it wasn't at this bar. We made sure that it was all about keeping him away from those areas and building those good fences. You see, you need that person in your life, whether that's a counselor, whether that's a therapist, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a best friend. Look, you need somebody consistently who understands your depression. You need someone consistently who absolutely understands where you're at and all the good things that you have in your life. Because right now you might be thinking you don't have anything good in your life, but I'm telling you, you do. You absolutely have something good in your life. You just got to look at it the right way. I was talking to a client the other day and said, "Hey, man, you got to start categorizing your wins in life." And he said, "Well, I don't think I have any." And I said, "Bud, yes, you do." I said, "Now look, let me give you an example." So I could sit there and say, "Yes, when I was in high school and just out of high school, I was in martial arts and I was a good fighter, and I beat a third-degree black belt in a sparring session." Now, I could consider that a win, right? It's kind of an egotistical win, but I could consider that a win. But then when I also add to that, yes, but I never had a professional bout. You see, that's downplaying those wins. You can sit there and say, "Yeah, I know what it's like to be in love." Yeah, but she left me. No, you see, you're focusing on all the wrong things. You have beautiful things in your life. You might have a daughter and you say, "Oh, I love my daughter." Yeah, but she lives in another state. No, you have to focus on the fact that you actually love someone, that you're winning, that you're winning. You see, so many times I sat with an older gentleman one time and he said, "I felt like a big loser my whole life and I've never accomplished the one thing that I want. I still feel like a loser." And I look over and there's a pool in his yard. He has a great big expansive yard. He has a roof over his head. He has food. We were actually cooking out that day and having a good time. And I said, "How are you losing here?" He said, "Well, I've never had cool cars and I never had cool boats, and I never." I said, "How does that compute to having an enriched life, being in love, loving and losing, and being a part of life? That's beautiful. That's a beautiful experience." So I want to encourage you today. If someone hasn't today told you that they love you, I'm going to tell you right now, I love you. I love you so much, and I appreciate you right where you're at. You've just got to realize something, that life isn't as bad as it seems. I don't care if you're in jail right now. If you're in jail and you're watching this, I've ministered in jails before, and I'm going to tell you something. There's still something good to be had there, because guess what? You have an opportunity to double down and focus on improving your life in a way that no one else can. So I want to encourage you. Not only do I want to encourage you, I want to give you a tool today that helps you. For me, my tool is saying to myself immediately, and this is my term that helps me bounce a snap back out of it, is the world is not on fire, or my world is not on fire. That's one of the things that I like to say. The other thing is when I catch myself in ill thinking, or I catch myself in spending too much time on this device, or going to places that I realize that I shouldn't go, I remind myself of those that I love and those that I serve, and the expectation of me to move forward on a higher level, and I'm able to put this thing down. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to try the live today. This is not that intentional of a live. I just want to encourage you today. But one of the things that I also want to do is say, I'm probably going to start getting rid of a lot of my online stuff. I think we only have 70 followers here, and we thank God for every single one of them. I'm in. Thank you. Thank you for being there. And we're going to keep the YouTube, and I want to try to build it a little bit more intentionally. But things like TikTok and Instagram, things that weren't clicking and we're just spending too much time. And I want to encourage you that the whole world is trying to take your attention. For every click that you make, for every moment that you watch, start to fill your mind with good things. This is a bad temptation for me. And it's one of the triggers that causes my depression. Therefore, me whittling down the ability for me to look at that stuff and spend my time doing good things. You've got to ask yourself, when you struggle with depression and when you struggle with anxiety, what are you feeling this with? Are you feeling it with encouragement? Because I know what it's like when your body just says doom and gloom all the time. So I have to double down when my body's saying doom and gloom, feeding my mind with good things. I'm watching things like Ed Milet. I'm watching things like Tony Robbins. I'm watching things that will encourage me and challenge me all at the same time to do greater things than myself. So again, I want to encourage you. I want to tell you I love you very much. If you haven't heard it this week, I'm going to tell you that I see greatness in you because you're sucking air. You're sucking air, man. And if you're sucking air, you have greatness within you. But it's up to you to enhance that greatness, to encourage it to move forward, to grow it, to move it forward in ways that you never thought possible. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter what you got in the bank account or what you don't have. It doesn't matter what you drive. It doesn't matter what your house looks like. I'm here to tell you, you have greatness within you, and you have a phenomenal opportunity to capitalize on that greatness so that you can start rising that heart and that mind out of depression. You can do this. You absolutely can do this. I believe in you. And here's the deal. If you need help, don't hesitate. Find it. Be Sherlock Holmes. Find that person that's going to help you. Find that right therapist. Continue to try new medications if you need to. Like I said, for me, it's not my route. I can't do that. It makes me sick and tries to kill me. I don't need any help with that, right? When you struggle with depression already, you don't need any help with that. So I want to encourage you. I want you to know that I love you, and I want you to know that you can build a legacy that will far surpass your legend, and you can inspire others to do the same. You just got to build those good fences. The moment you start to feel depression, start looking at it logically. Take those feelings that just don't matter and pull them out of the way, because they're going to lie to you and they're going to drag you down. Start looking at things logically. Do I have food? Do I have shelter? Am I in a safe place? If you have no's to all three of those things, I'm going to tell you that's what you need to be doubling down and looking for and not giving up on. But if you could say yes to all three of those things, that's beautiful. I'll never forget a Marine Corps vet coming to me one time, and he's just like, my life is a mess. I'm a wreck. Everything is awful. Everything's on fire. So let's look at that. Did you eat this week? And he said, yeah. I'm like, rock and roll, man. Success. I said, do you have a safe place to lay your head tonight? He said, yeah. I said, rock and roll, success. I said, so you're telling me your basic needs are taken care of? Do you have an income coming in? And he said, yes. And I said, see, you got nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about. Everything now is a strategic maneuvering on what to do next. Because if these things are being provided for you, I'm going to tell you everything else is icing on the cake. Too often, we allow what people have done to us in our lives to cause us depression, fear, and anxiety. Too often, we've allowed how people treat us. We have allowed that to make our minds think that's the person that we are, and we start making decisions accordingly. But I'm going to tell you, the way people treat you, if it's in a negative way, it's not a reflection upon the person you are. It's a reflection on the person that they are. And I understand that if you've had past hurts that are causing you to deflect or to reflect on those too much, and it's taken too much bandwidth of your mind, you need to go to counseling. You're looking at a guy right now who went to counseling, and it freed me up in a lot of ways. You're looking at a guy who will go to counseling again. You're looking at a guy who's won and lost. You're looking at a guy who's probably going to lose again. And probably the way I do things is going to be right in front of y'all. So I want to encourage you guys to continue to move forward. It's just one step at a time. It's just doing the next right thing. That's all it is. It's just doing the next right thing. And when you have greatness within you, I'm going to tell you the same thing I've told every one of my clients. If you were honest with me when you were a kid, you knew that greatness was there. But somewhere along the lines, whether that was people or life, it got beaten out of you. But I want you to start thinking about that little kid. I want you to start thinking about those things you love to do. I want you to think about your own greatness in such a way that it can help you move forward. And I know it sounds arrogant sometimes. I know it does. But it isn't, especially because your greatness is set there not just to help you, but to help others as well. I can tell you that my greatness is wanting to encourage other people. My greatness within me is my love for other people. My greatness within me is the fact that I'm an empath and I can feel your feelings and I don't want them to be there. I want to help you to grow and to move forward. It is my insatiable desire to see everybody in the room win. That is my greatness. And we can capitalize on our greatness. You can capitalize on your greatness. So don't turn around. Don't give up. Don't surrender. Your life isn't over. Your life is worth it. You are beautiful. You are lovely. You are wonderful, and you are loved. And if you don't have anybody in your life that loves you today, I'm going to tell you, I love you. I love you because I believe with all my heart that God made you. And he made me. And that makes us brothers and sisters. We got the same Father. Now, if you don't like that, that's okay. Eat the meat and spit out the bones of what I'm saying. And for me, I've been probably where you are to some degree. And I can't judge you. I had a friend of mine one time who had committed adultery on his wife. This was many years ago. And I'll never forget him looking at me going, man, I can't believe we're having this conversation. I can't believe that you're still my friend. I can't believe you're telling me that you love me. And I said, how am I any different than you? I've had lustful thoughts. I've had close calls. I'm no different than you are. I'm no different than you are. So I'm telling you right here, wherever you're at, if you're struggling with your sexuality today, if you're trying to fit in today, if you're feeling depressed and lost today, if you're feeling like you're a nobody, if you're feeling like that you're just a big piece of crap, if you feel like today that you're sad and you're depressed and you don't know why, I'm going to tell you, crack a smile. You're not alone. I've been there. I've been where you are. Just turn around. We're rowing in the same boat. I'm back here. I'm right here with you. Keep going. Keep growing. Keep doing the next right thing. One day, one moment, 1 second, one breath at a time. And you will build a legacy that will far surpass your legend, and you will inspire others to do the same. I've probably kept you way too long today. I think I had one person on for like 2 seconds and they split. I probably scared them off. And I just wanted to try out this live option. So love you guys. Keep getting after it. Keep doing it. Keep moving forward. And hopefully I'll get better at this because looking at myself is kind of weird when I'm talking and I got myself talking back to me. This is all kind of new to me and I want to do a better job and I want to serve you well. Love you guys. Have a great weekend.